10 years ago, I lived in a small village. I was only 19 years old. I was young and naive. There was a boy in the village. His name was Ryan.
Hold on just a second, Julia. Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Before Julia continues her story, I want you to know something important. Today, you're not just listening to a story. You're practicing real English skills. After the story finishes, I'll guide you through a special section called Vocabulary in Action, where we learn useful words from the story and practice them in real-life examples. And after that, we'll do shadowing practice to help you speak more naturally and confidently. All right, let's go back to Julia.
Ryan was handsome. Many girls liked him. I liked him too. At that time, Ryan was 25 years old. He was older than me, but I didn't care. I loved him. I thought he was kind and good, but people said bad things about him. My mother said, "Ryan is not a good boy. Stay away from him." My aunt said he is trouble. My father also told me Ryan is not someone you can trust. But I didn't listen. I loved him so much. Let me pause for a second. Have you ever liked someone so much that you couldn't see the truth? I was exactly like that. One Saturday night, there was a dance party in our village. My friends and I wanted to go. My mother didn't want me to go. She said it was not safe, but I begged her, "Please, Mom, I will stay with my friends," I said. She agreed, but she was worried. At the party, there were not many people at first. Slowly, more people came. Ryan came too. He looked at me and smiled. My heart was beating fast. Ryan asked me to dance. I was so happy. We danced together. During slow songs, he held my hand. During the breaks, we talked. He made me laugh. When the party ended, Ryan said, "Let's go for a drive." I was excited. I said yes. Ryan had a nice car. Everyone in the village knew about it. We drove around the village. It was quiet and dark. The stars were shining. I felt happy. But then Ryan drove to a lonely place. There were no lights. There were no people. Ryan stopped the car. He looked at me. He came closer. He tried to kiss me. I said, "No, Ryan, I want to go home." But Ryan didn't listen. He grabbed my hand. He touched me. I pushed him away. "Stop, Ryan," I shouted. He got angry. "You are boring," he said. He opened the car door and pushed me out. I was alone. It was dark and cold. I was scared. My house was far. I started walking. My feet hurt. My shoes were not good for walking. I walked almost 3 kilometers in the dark. When I got home, I was tired. My feet had blisters. I sat on my bed and cried. My heart was broken. I loved Ryan, but he didn't care about me. The next day, I told my friends. They said, "Ryan is always like this. He did the same to us." I asked, "Why didn't you warn me?" They said, "Everyone knows. We thought you knew too." I learned an important lesson that night. I became stronger. I stopped thinking about Ryan. 2 years later, I moved to the city. I worked hard. I built a good life. When I was 21 years old, I worked in a small bookstore. Every day, I walked to work. I liked my job. I liked the smell of books. I liked talking to people. One day, it started raining. I did not have an umbrella. I stood under a tree, waiting for the rain to stop. Suddenly, a man came to me. He had a yellow umbrella. "Do you need help?" he asked. I looked at him. He was tall and kind. He smiled. I nodded. "Yes, thank you," I said. He walked with me to the bookstore. His name was Lucas. He worked in an office nearby. "Can I see you again?" he asked before he left. I smiled and said, "Maybe." The next day, Lucas came to the bookstore. He bought a book. Then he bought another book the next day. Soon he came every day. We talked about books, movies, and life. Lucas was funny. He made me laugh. Slowly, I started to like him. One day he asked, "Do you want to go for coffee?" I said yes. We went to a small cafe near the bookstore. It was nice. Lucas told me about his family. He had a younger sister. He loved her very much. He wanted to travel the world. He had big dreams. I told him about my family too. I was an only child. My parents lived far away. I miss them sometimes. We started meeting often. We went to the park, to the movies, and to the museum. I was happy. But then one day, Lucas stopped coming to the bookstore. I waited for him. A week passed, then 2 weeks. I felt sad. Where is he? I asked myself. I wanted to call him, but I didn't have his number. One evening, it started raining again. I walked home feeling lonely. Suddenly, I saw a yellow umbrella. It was Lucas. He was waiting for me outside my building. My heart jumped. "Where were you?" I asked. "I'm sorry. I had to visit my sister. She was sick." I smiled. "I'm glad you're back," I said. Lucas held the umbrella over me. "Let's go for a walk," he said. We walked in the rain. The streets were shiny and wet. The city lights sparkled. I felt warm inside. After that, we spent more time together. Lucas made me believe in love again. He was kind and patient. I want to pause here and tell you this. Sometimes life closes one door only to open another that is brighter than you ever imagined. Years passed. Now I am 29 years old. Lucas and I are married. We live in a small house with a garden. Sometimes when it rains, we take our yellow umbrella and go for a walk. I think about the day we met. Life is full of surprises. Sometimes a small thing, like an umbrella, can change everything.
Thank you, Julia. What a powerful story. There's something important here. Julia went through pain, but she didn't stay in that dark place. She learned, she grew, and life brought her someone kind,
Lucas. Her story reminds us that even difficult moments can lead to better days, and sometimes the smallest things, like a yellow umbrella, can change the whole path of your life. All right, let's take what we learned and turn it into real English practice.
Vocabulary in action. Let's learn some useful words from the story. First, Julia said she was naive. When you are naive, you believe people too easily. For example, I was naive when I was younger, but I learned from my mistakes. Another word is lonely. You feel lonely when you are by yourself and you feel sad. For example, she felt lonely in the new city until she made friends. In the story, Ryan grabbed Julia's hand. Grab means to take something quickly and strongly. For example, he grabbed my arm because I almost fell. Ryan also pushed her out of the car. Push means to use force to move someone or something away from you. For example, she pushed the heavy door open. Julia walked home with blisters on her feet. Blisters are small, painful bubbles on the skin after walking too much. For example, I got blisters after hiking for hours. Later, Julia worked in a bookstore. A bookstore is a shop that sells books. For example, I love spending time in bookstores. She said she liked the smell of books. Smell means the way something scents the air. For example, the smell of coffee always makes me feel relaxed. Lucas was very patient. Patient means you stay calm and don't get angry easily. For example, you need to be patient when you learn a new language. Julia said the streets sparkled in the rain. Sparkled means something shines with small lights. For example, the city sparkled at night. And finally, she felt surprised when she saw Lucas again. Surprised means something happens that you did not expect. For example, I was surprised when my friend visited me without telling me. Now let's move to the storytelling method to help you remember these words faster. Now, let's use the storytelling method. This is one of the fastest ways to remember vocabulary because your brain learns better when the words are connected to a small story. Don't worry, your story does not need to be perfect. It can be simple. It can be short. Even 3 sentences are enough. I'll show you how it works with 3 examples. Each example uses a small group of words, some easy, some a little more difficult, and I'll explain any word that feels confusing in context. When you listen, try to picture the story in your mind. After that, I'll invite you to write your own story in the comments.
Example number 1. In this first example, we'll work with a few words including lonely, naive, rain, and umbrella. Mini story. Maria felt lonely while walking home in the rain. She was naive because she forgot her umbrella again. On the quiet street, a stranger shared his umbrella with her, and it made her day brighter. See how the meaning becomes clear inside the story? In this story, naive means not thinking ahead or not planning well, not believing people too easily. Let's move to the next one.
Example number 2. In this second example, we'll use a mix of easy and slightly harder words. Grabbed, patient, bookstore, smile, surprised. Listen closely to how they work together naturally. Mini story. I dropped my bag in the bookstore, and a man quickly grabbed the books before they hit the floor. He was patient and helped me collect everything. I was surprised by his kindness, and his warm smile stayed in my mind all day. Good. Let's try one more short story to make the words even stronger in your memory.
Example number 3. For this last example, we'll again combine simple and difficult words inside a short scene. Blisters, walk, cold, pushed, kind.
Mini story. After a long, cold walk, Anna felt blisters forming on her feet. Her friend didn't push her to hurry. He stayed beside her and walked slowly. He was kind and tried to make her smile, even though she was tired and hurting.
Great work. Now, here's something important. You've listened to 3 examples. Now it's your turn. Try to choose about 5 words, some new, some words you already know, and write your own mini story with 3 to 5 sentences. Don't worry about mistakes. This exercise is not about writing perfectly. It's about remembering the words and using them in real situations. If you want extra practice, leave your small story in the comments. I always read them, and it's a great way to learn together.
Are you ready for shadowing practice? Let's practice speaking. Shadowing practice. Now it's time for shadowing practice. I'll read each of the 3 mini stories again. After every sentence, I'll pause so you can repeat after me. Story number 1. Maria felt lonely while walking home in the rain. She was naive because she forgot her umbrella again. On the quiet street, a stranger shared his umbrella with her, and it made her day brighter. Story number 2. I dropped my bag in the bookstore, and a man quickly grabbed the books before they hit the floor. He was patient and helped me collect everything. I was surprised by his kindness, and his warm smile stayed in my mind all day. Story number 3. After a long, cold walk, Anna felt blisters forming on her feet. Her friend didn't push her to hurry. He stayed beside her and walked slowly. He was kind and tried to make her smile, even though she was tired and hurting. Great job today! You listened to a full story, learned new vocabulary, and practiced speaking with shadowing. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who is also learning English. Your support helps our channel grow and lets us create more content for you. See you in the next episode.